Hi everybody, this is Osprey from MyChartCoach.com, and in this video we're going to take a look at some of the penny stocks that were in play today. Okay, so these are the small cap stocks, and yeah, first up is ZSAN. As you can see, it closed up 72% today, so that was a huge move. It broke out above the middle Bollinger Band, and it hit the 50-day simple moving average intraday, broke above that level and pulled back. And so tomorrow it has to turn that level into support. It has to close above the 50-day simple moving average at 869. If it fails to break that level, that's going to signal a temporary top, and it could pull back to test that middle Bollinger Band. As long as the middle Bollinger Band down at 512 holds, a new uptrend should begin. Notice how it struggled breaking the 50-day simple moving average back in December. Yeah, so that's a big level to break. You know, this is a thinly traded stock. They you know, sold some shares into the rally today. If you look here at the 15-minute chart, you can see it really broke out later in the day. It had this, you know, they were walking it up on light volume, and then boom, big volume came in, and they really drove it up to 11, and then then it pulled all the way back down towards the middle Bollinger Band here. So tomorrow you want to see ZSAN stay above the middle Bollinger Band at 726. If it can stay above that level and then get back above 854, it could get cruising again. 11 is the big resistance level above. Now, if you see it drop below that 725 support level, that would signal downside risk, and it could drop down to that 50 simple moving average at 561. Okay, let's look at NXTD. Big move today, closed up nearly 25%. RSI at 61 or 60, Fasto at 61. So it's heating up, but today it formed the black candle, and so that was the you know, the open was up here, and this is the close. So it closed below the open, but it was up on the day. As you can see, you know, this black candle, it followed with the red candle. What you're looking for is more like this kind of move. You would love to see a white candle form today. Now it's gonna, or tomorrow, it's gonna be all about holding that 50-day simple moving average. If the share price can stay above 261 or 260, that's the green line, then that'll signal more upside. If you see the share price drop below 260, that'll signal consolidation, and then you want to see that EMA4 at 239 hold and the middle Bollinger Band at 219. Basically, it'll be a major red flag if it drops below 260. That'll signal it's back in that channel. And then, as you can see here, they had the gap up open, and then they just faded the entire day. Even, you know, it tried to bounce here into the end, and they really drove it down into the close. So it closed well below the middle Bollinger Band, signaling that it was a risk to hold overnight. And then now the next level to hold below is the 50 simple moving average at 255. It has to get above the middle Bollinger Band at 285. If it fails to break 285, 255 is on deck. A drop below 255 would be a major red flag. It could drop down to the 230s. Okay, look at OPGN, closed up 17% today. So the chart's heating up. This is a dead cap bounce play. You know, it had the big gap here on the chart, and then they really drove it down. And today there was a bullish close above the pink and lime lines, so it finally closed above EMAs 4 and 8. You want to see it stay above 210. If it can stay above that level, then it'll be in play. But if it drops below, it'll be a risk to hold. Now, EMA 13 at 230 is the big level to break. That's the orange line. If it fails to break that level, that's going to signal a temporary top. If it can get above that level, you can see PSARs right here, the dots. They could flip below the candles, and then it could run up to that middle Bollinger Band at 265. It needs to turn the middle Bollinger Band into support to get a new uptrend going. Notice the bull cross on the 12, 26, and 9 MACD. Okay, look at TTPH. This is another dead cat bounce play. It came down here, consolidated sideways, and today it broke out of the top of the channel. So you can see it had a sideways channel going here. With these candles, and then today there was a break above high close resistance. It also closed above EMA 4, that's the pink line at 250, and then it also closed above EMA 8, that's at 276, and the bottom of the gap. So this is a really big level to turn into support. If it stays above 276, that'll signal that it wants to continue heading higher, and then you're going to be looking at EMA 13 as the next target at 326. That'll be the big level to break. There's a huge gap between low of day on this candle and high of day on this candle. You know, get above the EMA 13 and the middle, you know, the candles would work back to the middle Bollinger Band. If you see it drop below 280, that's going to be a red flag. It needs to stay above that EMA 8 to continue heading higher. Okay, let's look at RHE. Okay, so it's above 50 on RSI. It's at 55. You want to see Fasto get above 50. There's a nice bullish crossover on ADX. And then so today there was a close above the middle Bollinger Band. on the 50-day simple moving average. So you can see the dots were above the candles, and then they flip below here, and so you know, that signals stop and reverse. You know, the 50-day simple moving average is the big level to hold. If it can hold that level and then bust through the upper Bollinger Band at 27, the 100-day simple moving average at 36 will be the next target. So if it drops below 23, that's going to be a red flag. It has to stay above that level, and then you want to see it break above this high close horizontal resistance level. So 29 is going to be a big level to break on the upside. If you see it get above 29, then it could go back up to that 100-day simple moving average. Okay, check out TRXC. You know, this is at 65 on RSI. Fasto is looking frothy there at 98. Yeah, so this has been on a nice run. It closed today above that 50-day simple moving average at 182. It hasn't been above that level since support broke back here in November, and so this is a really sweet move. To the upside, it needs to get above that 100-day simple moving average at 219. That's the next big level to break. Today's candle is busting through the upper Bollinger Band. Sometimes the candles will work back into the bands when that happens. As long as that 50-day simple moving average holds, that will be a really bullish signal, signaling that it wants to head higher. If it drops below that level, this tiny gap between high of day on Friday and low of day today could fill. As long as the EMA4 at 175 is holding, the chart is super strong. Okay, look at TAHO. It closed at 63 today in that 50 to 70 bull zone. You know, it had that huge flagpole today, giant white candle. It broke out above the middle Bollinger Band down here at 415, above the 50-day simple moving average at 447, and it closed above the 100-day simple moving average at 459. It also closed above the red descending resistance line and above the upper Bollinger Band. If you look here, when it gets above the upper Bollinger Band, it has a history of working back into the bands. You could likely see that happen here tomorrow. If that does, you want to see that 100-day simple moving average at 459 hold. To the upside, you know, 485 is a big level. You know, it has to, if you can get above that, then it's this $5 to 505 level. The high close here on the first trading day in January is the huge level to break at 505. Get above that, and that'll signal that it wants to head higher. Okay, look at AKER. This keeps pushing higher. You know, it filled the jar back to previous levels back in 2017. It closed above the 100-day simple moving average last week, and then you know, it's trying to push higher now. It's hitting the closing price from back here on December 4th at 60 cents. You know, that was a high before it had the big drop, and so, you know, if it fails to get above 60, that could signal a temporary top. If it closes above 60, then you're looking for it to work its way back up to that 200-day simple moving average at 82. Fail to break 60, and then what you know would be a signal that the chart's breaking down is if that 100-day simple moving average at 50 and EMA4 at 52 support levels break. That's where you could get some consolidation and a possible pullback. Okay, ECR. This is you know, chart has been heating up as well. As you can see, it was another one of those dead cat bounce plays. You know, they drove it way down. It got above the EMA4 on Friday. That was a signal that it was heating up, but it needed to follow through, and today it did. It got above EMA's 8 and 13. Notice the pink line starting to cross the line to the upside. That's an early reversal signal. You know, PSAR bull flip last week. It needs to stay above the middle Bollinger Band at 186. If it can turn that level into support, a new uptrend could begin. If it drops back below the middle Bollinger Band, you know, that'll signal a possible temporary top here. You know, it's only a good play at this point if it can stay above that middle Bollinger Band. It is on a 4-day run. Okay, look at ENPH, another energy sector penny stock. You know, it had a nice bounce off of the middle Bollinger Band and the 50-day simple moving average. You can see down here, it bounced off the green line and the dotted purple line. As long as that 240 support level holds, it signals more upside potential. You know, that was the reload level. Right now, you want to see it stay above that 260 resistance, and then the big level to break is 285. That's the recent high close. If it can get above 285, that's going to signal it wants to head higher. Right now, you're looking for a run up to that level to retest, you know, the recent high level. If it drops below that 240 support zone, that would be a red flag. And then finally, let's look at CERC. You know, it closed up again today, another 12%. This is a weekly chart. You know, today's Monday, so this is the first day. This candle will not set until the closing bell on Friday, but I showed you the daily chart yesterday, and I want to show you the weekly chart now. As you can see, it's the big level to break is back here in November of 2016, and so it's coming right up to that level. If it can break above that 5 resistance zone, 520 resistance zone, that'll signal it wants to head higher. It could possibly form a double top here. You know, as long as the EMA EMA4 at 428 is holding. The chart is still super strong. If it does close below that level, that's where you could get some consolidation. Okay, thank you very much for viewing this video. If you'd like to learn more about charts and technical analysis, please come check out our chat. I will post the link below the video. Okay, thank you.